So thanks so much for joining me, Slam. Welcome to Area 3000.
Thanks for having me.
We're here today to talk about your pop-up at the PayPal Fashion Festival, which is coming up in a few weeks, and also just to get a few insights into what's been going on in your world and I guess the history of how you've brought music and fashion together and all sorts of things. So we'll just jump straight into it, if that's okay. You first became known through music and DJing. At what point did fashion stop being like merch and start becoming a brand?
That's a good question. I think it was before lockdown. I think it was in 2020. I'd made like the original Gabba shorts, the oversized tee, and then the long sleeve. The long sleeve was like a Gildan blank, but it had the same graphic on some garments that I'd made, like cut and sew, as we say. So like a custom pattern. And I chose the fabric and everything. So I think that's when for me, it turned from like, oh, here's a t-shirt, here's a jumper, to like, here's a range. You know, here's a collection of garments that I've designed and graphics on them as well.
Yeah, okay. And how did you, like when you first, I guess, launched a collection, how did your community or your followers respond? Was it like amazing straight from the get-go?
Yeah. It was really, really amazing how supportive people were. It was all just from my Instagram. I'd done a few t-shirt runs and a hoodie run, and it had all sold out, everything just like over Instagram DMs. And then, I think I must have gotten a shop together with like Big Cartel or something even at the time. And yeah, it just was a natural progression. I think the visual language and the music references and the DJ references traveled across and translated well. So it just made sense.
Did you have a design background?
I studied fine art. I graduated in the middle of 2018. So I had an art background, and I was really interested in fashion and screen printing and graphics and, representing culture in art and in images and icons. So yes, kind of. And
would you say that like Melbourne's club culture influenced your designs?
It influenced my identity. Like it's integral to who I am. Yeah, there's something really special about Melbourne. I've been lucky enough to travel to a few cities in Europe, and they're amazing, and people say you shouldn't compare cities, but Melbourne is just as good as any other major city in my opinion, especially with the club scene and the queer scene. We have lots of diverse music and DJs and lineups with lots of different identities, as well as music genres and personal style, and it's just there's something in the water that I think inspires people, because Australia has like a cultural shame issue and a tall poppy syndrome issue, and I think there's like communities in Melbourne that like have, I don't know, worked through that in a way, and we're able to lift each other up and be like, fuck yeah, let's do something, and it doesn't matter that we're like 24 hours away from Europe or America or any of these like colonial cities. It's like, just people are keen, and it's really cool.
Yeah, and tall poppy syndrome is, I
always end up talking about it.
I think you're so right.
One counsellor said to me, I was like, I'm struggling with tall poppy syndrome. I feel like people don't want to, hear of my successes. And she just goes to me, be a tall poppy. And I was like, fuck. Like, if you are a tall poppy, just be a tall poppy.
Own it.
Anyone that's got a grievance with that, it's saying more about them than it is about you. So
yeah, I agree with that statement. Okay, yeah. Coming back a little bit to like club culture and like the intersection with fashion, and also the queer scene shaping your designs, as you mentioned. You, like your shirts and everything, like you've spoken about having this like diva attitude, and even now just about being a tall poppy. What do you think about the idea of like clothing and fashion being a form of confidence or
Yeah.
like a costume or
Yeah,
something like
totally.
that?
I mean, exploring my transgender identity, I was thinking a lot about costume and performance, especially while I was at art school. So that was quite enjoyable. But then, yeah, I think the cut of clothes and someone's silhouette, it can signify something. It can make people feel a certain way. It can project something. And so this T-shirt, it's like a custom box fit that I've like strained over for, you know, the longest time ever. And people, you know, that have bought T-shirts years ago, they go, oh, it's the best cut. It's the best cut. And it's like, yeah, maybe you like the way it looks, but it's also about how it feels. And so that really relates to like notions of gender expression and gender identity and queerness in a cis world, in a straight world, but then also relates to clubbing in the way of like moving your body and like not being distracted by thought and being completely in your conscious mind and being present. And so it's kind of like, yeah, related to all that. Like as a trans person and potentially even a slightly autistic person, if a garment for whatever reason, whether it's the cut or the fabric or the graphics too thick, it distracts me constantly and takes me out of the moment and I can't like function. And so that's what like drove me to be like, oh, if this T-shirt sleeve and this neckline and this and that was just a little bit and then it's like, okay, cool, like I'm just gonna do that. And then what am I gonna stick on it? Like diva.
One of my questions was actually like, when you're designing a garment, do you think about how it feels at like
Yes,
3 a.m.?
absolutely. Yeah, at 3 a.m. Yeah. You want it to breathe. You want to be able to move in it. Yeah, there's like a conversation happening in certain fashion circles that, you know, like podcasts or whatever that I'm listening to. And it's talking about the difference between, you know, maybe say Paris Fashion Week and London Fashion Week. And one of the critics was talking about how London Fashion Week, the style, the street style, it's a bit more rough and unpolished than Paris. And it's because people live in these outfits. And so, yeah, it's like it's a costume and a performance, but it's a lot more authentic than something stiff that you can't walk in, which, like, you know, if that's how you want to be, there's nothing wrong with that as well. But, yeah, definitely when I'm designing my pieces, it's, I guess that utilitarian aspect of like we need to actually be able to wear it. I made a mini skirt in that first collection that wasn't super successful. You know, I was still learning this and that, but it was a mini skirt with pockets, and I just felt like that was so rebellious, and like it shouldn't be. Like female clothing needs pockets. Like it's ridiculous that that's not a thing. So just little things like that, yeah, I think about in the design process.
Yeah, that's wild, actually. I've never consciously thought about that. But yes, even like if you put a jacket on, it's got pockets, so why shouldn't a skirt have pockets? Yeah. Okay, interesting. What's been the biggest learning curve for you over this journey?
That's a good question. I've needed to upskill in every single part of everything, including stress management.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I would say I'm a perfectionist or I'm that way inclined, and that's something I've needed to let go of. You know, recently I got some T-shirts back from a manufacturer and I'd ordered the fabric from the same place and everything, but it was different. It was still the same make. It was 100% cotton and 22 GSM, but the weave was just different. So it just felt different, right? And then the manufacturer had put the size label somewhere else for some reason. And it's just little things like that. You just gotta, okay, great, now that's weird, and the stockist is gonna say something about that, and it's just, yeah, it creates inconsistency for people, you know, if they feel safe. If their personality is like improved by how a garment fits, and then the next season the T-shirt's a bit different. Like I'm kind of thinking about that. And so, yeah, like obsessive and perfectionist. Like I kind of need to let go of that a bit and collaborate with the universe, just go with the flow, let go, surrender, all that vibe.
I totally relate to that. I feel like I'm a bit of a perfectionist too. What star sign are you?
I'm a Capricorn.
You're a Capricorn, okay. I'm a Virgo.
Oh, of course. Yeah. You would have it worse than me.
I have this sign on my desk at work that says, don't let perfect get in the way of good.
Nice.
Which is always just a good reminder. But I do understand, like, from a consumer point of view as well, where I guess if someone's expecting a certain quality with something and they're used to a certain style or make, then it suddenly changes, whether that be in fashion or skincare or
exactly,
anything.
yes. My skincare, one of the vitamin C serums I used, loved it. They just stopped making it.
Oh.
And now I had to change, and then my skin had to process it, and it's just like, sucks.
Yeah.
First world problems.
Yeah. Bit off topic that one, but that's okay. Yeah, no, not at all, not at all.
Oh, wait, I wanted to say the other big thing I've learned is, in recent years I've maybe changed the goalpost with the brand and with DJing and with parties. I wanted to do it full time and make a living off it, and that's something that I'm not trying to do anymore. I've got my my job as well. Yeah, and that was a big learning, and something I think is a bit smoke and mirrors that I feel comfortable maybe illuminating. So because I became disillusioned after my fine art degree, being like, I need a job. And yeah, some people some people make it and it's their full-time gig. Some people need a job while they're doing it. And yeah, for me, it's been a change in my approach where I want this to be authentic and expressive for me. And so I have like a youth work job that I do as well that pays my bills and keeps me stable.
Okay. I'm in a similar spot. So,
Nice.
I work in not in youth work, which I think is, kudos to you. I think that's really important. I work in a corporate job, but I also have my creative outlet being Area 3000. So, I can also relate to where you're at.
And I think it's maybe useful to younger people to maybe not put so much pressure on themselves to consider their practice successful if it's only successful under the guise of capitalism.
Yeah.
And inherently people are going to need to compromise on anything that's uncapitalistic. So for me, community is really important to me. So not wanting to budge on that and making clothes that maybe would sell better to straight men. Mm-hmm. It's not really a market I'm tapped into. Sort of accepting that and valuing that over it being my full-time thing. It's not about the money. It's not about the sales. It feels so good when I see a diva out in the street that I don't know wearing my pieces. That's what it's about. Yeah. And then us all being able to signify, we're a part of this community. These are our beliefs. After my fine art degree, I went back and I did youth work, Cert 4. Stable work. Yeah. Able to have an art practice.
I imagine that may have not been the easiest decision to come to, but I think it also speaks to this conversation that is happening in the broader community about like being authentic to who you are as a person and then also your brand, and not trying to shape that to then just serve everyone. Like, you know who your community is and your audience is. If you start to weave into a different direction, then they're going to feel lost and probably alienated from that as well. And I think online we're starting to see like influencers and people that are just trying to serve everyone and anything for this capitalist sort of end goal. But that topic of like being authentic, I think some people are struggling with at the moment because they don't know. One, they maybe want to pursue this path of like making money through, influencer partnerships or something like this, but then they lose a bit of themselves if they're just, accepting anything. What would you say about that idea of, just staying true to who you are?
I think it would be hard to find meaning in one's life if we don't know what our values are. And so knowing our values first and then making decisions based on that, I think would lead to a more meaningful life.
Yeah, that's a nice answer. Okay, yeah. I think it's an interesting exercise as well if you've ever undertaken like a values sort of assessment or like tried to actually like consciously work out what your values are in life.
Yeah, I do it with a lot of the young people I work with, and I've done it in counselling myself as well. Yeah. It's important. It's super important, especially someone that's inclined to like constant existential dread.
Yes, so no. Let's move on to SLAMROSS1000 World, which is part of the upcoming PayPal Melbourne Fashion Festival. How did you approach curating the designers, the artists?
Okay, so I actually was working on another project, and I was on Creative Spaces online, which is like an online platform where people advertise everything from dance studios to like woodworking workshops. And I was just like looking through it in the Brunswick area for fun, and came across Saga, right? And so I booked a visit with Martin, who runs Saga, and it's an old warehouse converted into an art gallery space. And I'd seen that they'd done events there. They're in this little pocket of Brunswick near the train that's not turned into apartments. So they have raves there. They have, like DIY events. And I was like, okay, cool. So then I went to see the space and was checking it out. And so for the first time ever, I was actually inspired by the space first, which was really nice, really exciting. And it made sense to be in Brunswick because that's where most of my customers are. And then after seeing the space, I thought, okay, cool. What if we do a pop-up event where I've got my clothes available for people to try on and buy, and then we have a rave? And, oh, yes, what if we then have an opening night? And what if we then get a few people, because everyone I'm having at the pop-up I've done or am doing a collaboration with. It's not just random people. It's like shared values, shared community. It's like really gorgeous. And it just sort of came together, and then I just, again, this collaborating with the universe, I was like, oh, maybe I'll apply for the independent program, and got in touch with Sai, and she said, this is perfect. Like, we'd love to have you on board. So
congratulations.
Yeah, it just sort of happened.
Yeah, wow. So, and what does it mean to you to be part of that lineup?
I mean, I struggle to feel pride. It's something I've always, to be proud always feels very like something that I don't, really know how to access. So I think maybe just imposter syndrome or confusion would be my main answer, but also like so fucking excited and just keen, like, oh my God. And my like friend who's also trans is like doing her thing the week after. It's just nice to like have real representation from the underground communities of fashion in something like PayPal Melbourne Fashion Festival.
Yeah, that was a really honest answer about, feeling imposter syndrome and self-doubt, all those things. But you should feel proud. And in fact, I'm proud to see someone from like the music industry, queer culture in the festival. And actually, when I saw you on the lineup, I was like, oh my gosh, that's really
true.
Cool. So,
thanks.
So well done. Do you think this is perhaps the start or the widening of like club culture, queer brands being part of more of this mainstream type event?
That's a great point. I hope so. Yeah. I had a friend / trainer at the gym ask me yesterday, like, where do you see trans issues being in 60 years? And I was like, it'll probably just be a non-issue. And so, hopefully we have lots more of things like this coming into the mainstream, and it's just the norm. Yeah,
I hope that too. What do you hope people who attend the pop-up / rave take away from the experience?
Oh, that's such a cute question. I hope they feel connection, because we live in a loneliness epidemic at the moment. So I want people to feel connection, and a sense of community, and then also inspired to, follow their dreams, as corny as that sounds. No, edit that out.
No, I think that'll be the star of the show. I love that. No, that's very important. Community and excitement and living your dreams.
Yeah. Damn it. You're a good interviewer. You've gotten me to say that. It's so embarrassing. It's off the record.
What excites you most about Melbourne's creative scenes at the moment, whether that be music, fashion, or something else?
Ooh, that's a good question. What's the tea? Exciting me about Melbourne. Obviously, the reason I'm like struggling is because there's so much. I'm like not on Instagram.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have someone like looking after your?
I have
accounts?
through like Meta,
Yeah.
you like log into Facebook, and then there's a Meta Business Center, and you can schedule your posts.
So you don't actively
Go on
the app. Yeah, I love that for you.
It's really changed my life.
I think I would have no accounts if not for Area 3000, but to be fair, I've never thought of just doing it through the...
It's hard, you can't
center.
tag people in store, like it's really limited and my engagement's really poor, so I'm like, I'm protecting my peace, but I can't recommend it to like anyone else, because it's like, my engagement is like 25 likes.
Okay.
Like it's really bad.
Yeah.
Like they hate me, Meta hates me. Mark Zuckerberg hates me.
Yeah, I guess they do want people on the app, and they'll prioritise or favour those accounts that are on there for hours and hours on end. Yeah.
Yeah, they do. So yeah, I'm a bit out of the loop with what's happening in Melbourne. To be perfectly honest, I'm also like studying my Masters of Counselling this year. So that's actually
that's huge.
Yeah. So the goal with the brand is like maintenance, not growth.
Yeah.
At the moment, so it's like, just trying to do my course, and then I can like.
For sure, you've got like two whole worlds going on. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, okay, well, congrats on that, and good luck.
I could be working like 3 days a week, and then I've got 2 days for the brand and 2 days for myself, kind of thing.
Yeah. I love that you've got the 2 days for yourself. You've
you got
made
to.
a conscious effort.
You got to. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like this, I was really in the grindset mentality, especially in my late 20s, grindset, let's like do it. And now I'm like, oh, wait, that's not what I actually believe in.
Yeah.
Imagine I'm retired, you know. I mean, I'm in a really lucky position where I'm like literally supporting my own community and then DJing, making music and making fashion. It's like a good lifestyle. And I know I'm lucky, but how can I actually just enjoy it instead of making it stressful or forcing myself to suffer? It's like I unlocked some sort of thing.
Yeah, good on you. Because it's so easy to get stuck in that grind, and even the comment you made before about shifting the goalpost, but actually trying to, I guess, restrain yourself in a little bit to be able to manage everything that you're doing.
Yeah.
Often it can be the reverse as well, where like once you've achieved something, and if you're just in that constant grind mindset, you don't even feel
That's exactly,
like accomplished or anything, and suddenly, the bar's just moved, so you're just on to the next thing. And
I was chronically doing that and just like not letting myself feel like I'd achieved anything for years. And I don't know why I was doing that. It was like completely unnecessary. Yeah. You know, I'm not walking around with like, 2011 Kanye energy. Definitely not current Kanye energy. But like 2011 Kanye energy, being like, oh yeah, I fucking did this, I fucking did that. But it's also kind of like, okay, I did that.
Yeah. It's often not until you have time to like sit with yourself and then reflect that you're like, oh, actually, like I have done a lot.
Yeah, shout out to meditation. 10-minute mindful meditation every morning's changed my life. I said this in another video, but it didn't make it into the final cut. So we'll see if it makes it into this one. Because you can't, as a youth worker, suggest to young people, maybe you should meditate. But maybe as a creative, I can get the message. It's so good.
Why can't you suggest that?
Oh, it's like really invalidating. It's like saying, have you tried going for a walk?
Okay.
It's just it's cringe.
Okay,
yeah.
All right. Well, shout out meditation. Yeah. I did have some like rapid fire kind of questions. Prees or kick-ons?
No, now neither. Oh my God, but definitely kick-ons.
Favourite time of night?
Oh, 3 a.m.
3 a.m, okay. Thing that scares you the most?
The come down.
Favourite daily ritual?
Oh, at the morning, my morning routine. Yeah, I have a really good morning routine.
Can you explain a bit more?
It caffeinate, medicate, meditate.
Love that. We got it in 3 words. Brilliant. Place you feel most at home?
Well, at the moment, it's at my apartment. Yeah.
Good. Okay. Yeah.
That's a lame answer.
No, it's not because it's not.
Club.
it's not because it means you've potentially like decorated it in the way that also makes you feel at home.
Yeah.
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 No, that's good.
My partner.
One word to describe SLAMROSS1000 world.
Gay.
Okay. That was perfect. Thank you.
I like the rapid fire.
Yeah.
It was fun.